The problem is the offer, not you. So fundamentally, you suck at offers. But that's okay because I'm going to make the offer for AI automation so crystal clear to you that you can take this video and use it as a direct sales script for every single cold call, cold email, video that you decide to post where you go over it efficiently. My name is Maxim Grand. I am the co-founder of MYG Media, and for the last 2 years I've been scaling up businesses using AI process automation and among many other development services to bring up revenue to the point that our company has made over 300K in collective client endorsed revenue. And now I make videos about how you can do the exact same while I'm still on my way up. And trust me, I'm not where I want to be yet, but I am in a very comfortable position, comfortable enough to be able to tell you exactly how you can do the same. Now, you'll see a lot of online gurus tell you that the most important thing is how good the quality of your product is, but in reality, the quality of your product is only correlated to the value, the perceived value of the quality, not the actual fundamental quality itself. And just not to confuse you, let me actually get into it quick enough for everyone to be able to process it and use this in their own sales systems. Let's say you are starting AI automation, and it's very likely that if you are studying a business degree in university, your first or second year, you probably have a business on the side. Now, you might think that it's a great time for you to go out and collect VC funding. Now, let me stop you right there, because you're not at the point where you've built up the credibility, nor probably the programming experience to go out and actually do that. The actual best thing that you can do is reframe the offer. Now, sequential thinking is showing a client that if we start off from step A and we work our way all the way down the alphabet to step Z, Z is the dream scenario that they will eventually get, and all of the letters in between are the step-by-step processes that they need to take, preferably with you, in order to get there. How do we get to the dream scenario for the client and for yourself? Well, you have to frame the offer as part of their total positive outcome. And what I mean by that, and the reason you suck at offers, is because when you go to a client, a lot of people, what they do is that they phrase the offer as, we're going to look over your bottlenecks, we'll see what we can operationalize and make into your advantage, we'll add a chat bot. And the client himself is hearing all these feature-esque, tech-savvy things you're saying and thinking, well, why don't I just hire a nerd in my company to do this? I could just do that. What do I need you as a third party who I'm inviting and forcing to sign an NDA if I'm keen of mind to fix these processes for me? Do they even need fixing? Can't they just relay this research task for somebody else to do with Claude or with GPT? Why do I need you? In this moment, alpha male competitor person who's doing the same company as you comes into the office and says, look, your bottlenecks are a problem, but let's look at it from a different aspect. As I can tell, your customer support is currently suffering. It's taking you quite a while to onboard new employees, and your turnover shows that not only are the new employees suffering from not being able to be trained to the degree that they need to be, but there are always small little fixes that could be damaging your revenue more than you know. Let me give you some examples. You have all of these processes which would normally be handled by someone internally in the HR department, especially data collection. Now, what we do is we set up an internal system that we call Aegis, and we'll set up the system to collect all data transmissions throughout the company, especially if you have 50 plus people, and we'll make sure that every single person has access to all the information they need within a few seconds of prompting the chatbot. And the data stays local, so none of it goes to the cloud, which means you stay within regulation, you don't get into legal trouble because your employees are dumbly using ChatGPT, which means you save money there, but not only. The other areas you'll save money is your alternative, instead of working with me, is to go to another company, present them with this proposal, but they didn't outline the bottlenecks the way that we did. Because what we're going to do is show you the exact worth of the total hourly wage amount per employee that you're losing which you wouldn't be if you had these systems in place. Let's say you have an employee working full time. I'm guessing in your case that's 35 to 40 hours. Great. So it's 35 to 40 hours. They're getting paid 20 bucks an hour. So we'll set that as the average. And they're taking home post tax 20 bucks an hour, which is great for them and for you. You pay well, they are incentivized. Now, your alternative is to take on another employee to handle these processes themselves instead of implementing our solution, which would cost 20-30% of what you're actually saving by not hiring these employees additionally. And when I say saving, I mean in regards to time lost, managing them, employing them, getting them acquainted with the environment, the time lost because of time theft. How can you guarantee that they're going to stay motivated? Our systems work day and night. They just need electricity. Lunches, unsupervised work leaves, managerial issues, miscommunication between the teams, expenditure of HR resources, vacation leave for 2 weeks or more, paid. All those costs, they add up for you. Let me present you with this. Let's say we take 5 employees and we thoroughly sit down and eagle eye them to the point that we understand what processes are a waste of time for them and are proving to be unredemptive work, both money wise and time wise. And we list out the processes by how much time they take and how our system will get those processes done not only faster, but allow you to free up time for the employees to do worthwhile work that pays back itself. The work you're actually paying them for at the end of the day. Now, of course, that doesn't mean you need to downsize. In fact, we don't encourage it. Because with these systems, your employees are not only going to be more productive, but they will be productive within the local environment that your business needs to operate, which means not exposing your data to OpenAI, Anthropic, or XAI servers. All of these companies don't value your privacy the way a GPU cluster with full functionality and a custom UI chat that's branded under your name would do for you. Now, as much as I know that comes off like I'm trying to sell you something heavy, the reality is that we know the amount of cost you will save, and that's why we'll charge you the percentage of cost that we feel is right. Let's say all of these processes amount to about 30,000 euro in total annum cost that you're losing. That's one employee's worth, more or less. Working average wage, yearly salary, considering monthly payments. Great, we're on the same page. We will automate the process for 5,000 euro per month, but you won't be covering insurance, setup, vacation, maternity leave, lunch breaks, and general time theft, because what the AI manages to accomplish will be what your employees have already been doing, except getting it done faster, more efficiently, and being able to forward it to the right stakeholders on time so you can outcompete and genuinely turn all of these bottlenecks into more than just a competitive advantage. It becomes a competitive system of its own. Jarvis in your business. Now, 5,000 a month sounds like a lot. I understand. But the reality is that these systems and the API to use them is just going to get significantly better. As these companies, global players, build more of these data centers, your company will reap the benefits of being an early player in this game, because even as a mid-sized company, you'll be able to slowly watch as your system not only gets better, but is able to contain more context, and with that context, accomplish more tasks over time. Imagine you're able to add not only limbs to your robotic employee, but extra brain power. Get smarter over time, unlike people who, with old age, as we all know, eventually even I will be exempt. I'm here today to make sure that you see exactly where the costs will pay themselves back. Let's do a little bit of sequential thinking in regards to this, right? Let's take this one employee that's costing you 30,000 per year. What we're going to do is we'll look over the processes, implement the systems like I've already mentioned, But then you also see that the savings you make back from how effective our automation is and from how much time the employee now saves on repetitive, redundant work that can be automated, will pay itself back because not only will they be more efficient at the stuff that they need to be doing, but you will watch the system be efficient at the stuff that they traditionally try to avoid. And I mean, it's only human nature. These things are unavoidable because we as human beings are here to do productive work, which is why I'm here today. Because my productive work, my passion, my purpose in this life is to make sure that companies reach the ambitious level that they potentially could with an entire monopoly of their own, within their own niche. And I can honestly tell you that the companies that will get there first and get there fastest will be the companies that catch on to the power of AI within their business. Now, you might say there's a bubble here and there, but we're not disguising someone else's tool and feature that Google or OpenAI will implement into their software anyways. No, no, no. We are setting up a completely localized system which improves itself not only because we'll be monitoring it 24/7 and handling any kind of cause issues, but these companies will improve their AI, which means your AI will get better. Built on their API, fine-tuned, fully locally, operationally yours. Bottleneck turned into competitive advantage. What I recommend is that we sit down, we go over all of the potential areas where you see there's a lot of redundant work being done. And we'll take our time with this. We need to be very precise. And then once we've drafted up a full document, we'll be able to outline exactly where we need to start with. Now, of course, for smaller businesses, that might in fact be their customer support, and that might in fact be a chatbot that we may need to set up so that your customer support, which are fairly paid to do their work to deal with people who have real issues, don't have to stress about tire kickers who are up on the website legitimately just to waste your time. The world is out and about trying to make your business more inefficient. With short form content on the rise and the attention span of people with each generation getting shorter and shorter, I guarantee you that if your company lives on enough that your son or daughter are able to take it on themselves and inherit the amazing legacy you've left behind, they will do so by catching on to the innovation that's coming about now. And that's exactly what we would do for you, and nothing less. Let's say you save $200,000 in total employee cost. Well, we'll charge you $20,000 of that money saved, which means you still save $180,000 in total year cost. And we will break it down so carefully that even you can verify the maths and check that you do in fact save the money we're promising you. This is us clearly stating where a problem is and how it will continue to arise if you keep systems the same, and how we can make sure that not only we win because we fixed it for you, but you save enough that paying us to do so perfectly becomes a no-brainer. That's what we are. We're here to bring no-brainer decision-making and solutions to problems that we've spent years of our life detecting and fixing for businesses just like yours. What do you have to say? And how about this? Just to show your extra level of commitment, because honestly, I really like that you've given us the time to be able to explain this, because we think about this super passionately and we know what important foothold it will have in the future. How about we send you a full breakdown of the costs we save for our last case study, and you'll see if any of them overlap with your industry, because I'm sure we've worked with a niche that not only coincides, but maybe competing with you. We'll send that right over, no strings attached. We just need to make sure that you sign an NDA that you're not allowed to distribute this over to our competitors, because what we're building is top of line. Now, to leave this entire sales scenario, I know I did a lot of talking, but what you need to focus on importantly is that I repeated a lot of the same points. And the reason I did that is because I'm trying to cement the idea of costs being saved, bottlenecks turned into competitive advantages, and we only win if you win into their minds. And this isn't some sales strategy where I'm trying to be greedy, Because at the end of the day, the math will make sense, whether their accountants check it or ours do. That's the whole point. We sell them honesty, we sell them the truth, broken down into data. And when a business functions on data, you can take them seriously. They're not just there to go day by day earnings. They're there to win it big. They're there to capitalize and reinvest that money that they've saved back into their business, into the sections that really matter, and continue doing what they've been doing for years now, dominating. We just make sure they catch on to the ice float before the previous one melts. And that is how you stop sucking at your offer. Good luck.